Hey guys, Ventius here again. So, we're gonna get started on finishing up our temple guard, but before we can do any of that, I want to finish up on some of the painting, if I recall properly, the end of the end of the first part of the temple guard video ended off with it needing still quite a bit more painting to do. So, no big deal there. We can just, continue on with that. I seem to have misplaced a piece or two, and I think the piece that I'm missing is one of the custom pieces that'll let you really get into the whole it really started showing more of the customization. If you don't remember it, it was a little two-horned piece that I'm having a little difficulty finding right now. Mainly only because I'm looking with one hand, but also with... There we go. Let's just move this out of the way. And over. So we should be able to see a little bit better. There we go. I am not currently seeing the piece that I picked. Which I guess is kind of a good thing or a bad thing, since it would let me, put in a better piece or something like that. But I was really hoping on that two-parted piece. Of course, I can always go with something like this, but I usually try to keep to the style of the pieces that I originally picked. Actually, I think I'll decide between those two in a bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to drop those right there. And for anybody wondering if, can't seem to remember anything right now. But, anyway, let's go ahead and get this all underway. My workspace is filthy. So, please, when you have a workspace, keep it clean. It's just so much easier to make sure shit doesn't get on your projects or anything like that, and you don't have to dust anything that you don't need to dust, without necessity. So, let's go ahead and we'll start with the remainder of the headdress. I believe we finished painting this on the back at the end of the first video. If not, I probably finished it off screen, which is fine, I guess. Oops, sorry, can't do that. Keep forgetting how loose this rig I've got set up is. Oh, wow, okay. Oh, damn. But you kind of have to work with what you got, and so far a rubber band on a webcam seems to be the only thing I can do at the moment. But anyway, we got that. Let's go ahead and get a brush so we can get this part over as quickly as possible. I'm only going to paint this upper area because I'm not too concerned with down here, since this will be adhered to the frail itself. So I'm just going to go ahead and get my hands on the gold, which, almost drying, has seemed to give off a lovely texture even though it's not completely dry. It's kind of a weird paint style, I guess, to use. Now the thing about it is, though, I could always technically just add water and go back in and try and stir it up, but I don't think I'll do that. For one, I think it'll just muddy everything up a little. this is just peeling. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Alright, time for the bamboo. Kinda almost looks like a candy. Like a nice thick creamy candy or a whipping. Like gold laced whipping. That's just expensive, let me tell you. As far as it goes for my new or soon to be new-ish segments about metalworking and blacksmithing and the like, I've almost got everything I need to start working on those. However, I'm lacking material and a anvil of some kind, which is obviously one of the key components that you're going to need for any successful smithing setup. So, quick note is that you can use something other than an anvil as long as it's in the same general shape. And my idea, which is not my idea, but an idea that was presented to me, was taking old railroad rails and using those for the purpose of being made into anvils. Where I am currently at in the US, I am not able to find a junkyard or a salvage yard or any abandoned rails in which I could get a railroad rail from, because most of what is around me has to deal with a lot of automobile parts instead, which is fine because I know you have to specialize to your people's needs and such. It just does kind of get disheartening to know that you can't get hold of something that would really help you out, even though you really could use it. I'm also apologizing right now if I sound a little solemn. Hasn't been exactly the best week at the time of this recording. Also, my voice has been a little weird lately, so it will tend to fluctuate like that, but that was partly because of yawn. Don't know if you can tell that. But anyway, moving on. We're going to get into moving with this piece now. Don't know if you can really see it because of the way this rig is set up, so I'm really hoping you guys are going to see it. Oop, there it goes. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start down here at the feather. I'm going to paint that and work my way up to the blade and everything else. I was thinking of having the blade, I'm sorry, a little tired, of having the blade left the way it is, but with a nice red along here and on the spine, and then we'll see what we can take from there. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start. Oh, sorry guys. We're gonna get a hold here. Move this up. Alright, so first color I want to use is, I'm going to go with the darkest color, and then work my way up. And this is actually a blue that I haven't used before. It's ultramarine blue. I guess it's supposed to make it a very deep blue. Oh wow. Just want you guys to take a second and look at this. That is beautiful. I have never had a paint come out like that out of this entire set. That is just wow. I almost feel kind of bad for using it. I really do. I feel almost kind of bad. Oh, no. Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting. Well, damn. Alright, so we're gonna have to really mess and model with this thing here. The only side to this item that I'm using, the magnifier that I have, is probably the fact that it isn't as articulate as probably, you know, maybe some of the other predecessors or successors to this. So I can't really turn and see as much as I want on a given color. I will say, however, it does provide sturdy work most of the time. Okay, so we've got that taken care of. And while we wait for that to dry, let's go ahead and move on up to the that little decorative ball at the end. I was thinking of painting that gold, but with my gold running out, I'm gonna have to start switching tactics. Can't rely on my colors forever. Ooh, sorry, I don't know why I'm so tired. I wonder if I can get this open or not. You can tell this is supposed to be silver, but right now I'm trying to see if I can get it open. I can't remember if I was able to get it open in any other video or not. I can only hope I was able to get it open. But at this point, it doesn't look like I'll be able to. Okay. Alright, looks like we'll have to improvise. I don't really feel like pulling out more color than I already have, so I'm just going to start working with the cerulean blue and the viridian that I've got sitting around here. Maybe mix the two together and see what I get. I should probably have put this all in a bigger spot, but I'm not really in the mood to be picky about where I put my things. I am, however, picky enough to want to make sure I blend it properly within the area it has. And if possible, I'll probably move it later. I'd say that looks like a nice jade color I can use. Probably used a little too much of the other colors to make it, but you know, considering how lately we've been using a little too little, I'd rather go with a little too much, since it's always been a preference of mine to actually have more than what you need, because you never know when, you know, something might surprise you and you decide to go back and use that same color later on. So let's see now. We'll go with something like where is that really tiny Fine. I guess we'll go with this one. Oh, sorry. Anyway, we're going to use this. I'm just going to try and fill it up as best as I can, considering the whole damn thing has been, this particular brush is rather weird. There we are. Got a couple blobs all up on the lizard man, but that's no big deal. Alright, so now moving back to the feather, we're going to go ahead and we're actually going to go for a, I'm going to say we're just going to go ahead and add a cerulean blue. What I'm actually going to try to do is go in and get out of there. Get out of their hair. No one wants you. Alright. Anyway, what I'm going to try and do is go down very carefully through the center of the feather, or rather not, this will actually be more the decoration. Let's see now. Let's get that Viridian on it to get a wash. I usually do it by the drops that fall off your finger. Alright, let's check out how this is going to look. Ooh. Alright, I think that should about do it. We'll just wait for that to dry and move on to our smaller pieces, which I'm more than likely going to turn into a white, even though I said earlier that I would not pull out any more colors. Ow. But sometimes you wind up changing your plans, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Alright, that should about do that. Actually having to readjust myself here because my legs are falling asleep, but let's see. Trying to stray away from the gold a little. Can't rely on it forever to make everything, even though gold actually does do a nice job of accenting a lot of the tribal aspects of several nations, real or fantasy. Gold has always just been one of those things where you can incorporate it into a tribal design and it always comes out looking good. I don't know what to paint for this part, but I'm going to go with the brown. So I'm going to dig it out of brown. Burnt sienna has actually been a rather nice color to me. Oh no, I dropped the piece. There it goes. I guess I'll have to do a lot more work with my washes the further in it, you know, to get more of the get more practice in, A, and B, to just learn how to balance it out, make it so it actually does wash instead of almost completely covering everything. So we're going to move on up to the blade, which is going to require our red, the crimson red. Let's see now. I think that'll look good. Alright, now I do believe our white is dry, so we can go back with our burnt sienna. It's all stiff and jiggly. I have to flop this mess around. Now, like I said, I'm not going to color or paint from the back area, simply because that's where it's going to be glued, and you know, I don't want to have to deal with all that. Anyway, now that we're moving on to our headdress, which I had originally intended to do, but at the beginning, we're finally there, which is a good thing. Alrighty. Now the tricky part of this comes with the gluing for the head. But first I want to make sure I get these little holes. Yeah, I think that'll do pretty good. So the first thing we're going to glue on is going to be actually part of the head. It's going to be right here. Now here, we're going to get into something tricky. Make sure the damn thing stays in place. I'm going to try and glue it in there we go. And that should keep it fairly straight while it dries, which will allow us to go ahead and move on to our body. And if I have the blank, nope, I don't have those. Oops, sorry, didn't mean for that to be so loud. I should have some blank slates around here somewhere, and if not, that's no big deal. You guys have seen how to put the slates together in my first video, so we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to start the body work. Which reminds me, you get a little tap. I guess there are some of you out there that could say that the stand is essential in making sure that the piece will sit properly. And in some ways, I suppose you could be right. But seeing as how my editing software is still kind of messed up, I don't have the chance to go in to hunt it down at this exact moment, which is failure on my part. I should have planned ahead more. Should have remembered what all I needed. But like I said, if you need to know how to glue the stand, just go ahead and look at my other videos. Possibly the more than likely it's going to be the end of the source or SOAR build that we did. So go ahead and check out that video, and that will show you how to put this guy together. And now we come on to the shield, and shield I always find to be the easiest, but also one of the more difficult pieces to put together. Because in terms, it's actually being the easiest piece to deal with. You just set it into position, and it'll just sit there for more often than not. But it's making sure everything around it that'll stay. That can be the pain in the butt. I think it's actually a little bit of a press issue with this with the blue testers. I would try out my red testers, but don't really seem much point, as I tend to believe that the there we go. I tend to believe that testers glues, while their paints are reliable, I would not say that their glue is. Nor would I say many of the paints that I'm using are exactly reliable. Oh shit. And once the glue starts to set, you don't want to jiggle it around too much. Otherwise the glue will come loose and you'll find yourself having to redo almost the entire thing. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get that arm on. Oh. The problem with most of it is that it tends to stay liquid for far too long, so you're going to have to hold it for a little bit. At least right now you can kind of get the idea of how it's going to look. And yeah, I know the backside of the shield still isn't done. And in this pose, it's actually much easier to see the back of the shield and in the sword. So it all depends on, again, you know, the level of detail you want to go into, and as well as being able to plan ahead how they'll be posed, so you can plan for essential painting and not essential painting. I just tend not to do the shields on the back because it's just it just makes things easier than having to worry. Oh, is this going to be in the in a position where it'll be seen? I'm actually just going to kind of lean them up here a little bit, which will be fine. I'm actually going to depress that. Looks like the glue is actually starting to hold. And one of my trickier bits is going to be getting this little plaque, or fan dress, I should say, to stick to the rest of it. Because remember, I said at the beginning of the last video, I was going to try and combine these two in a way, and I think I have accomplished that goal. It's just that that particular goal is a bit harder to reach. And more than likely, once the glue for this wears off, I'll go back with super glue and really cement it into place. Ta-da! So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to leave that there. And we're going to move on to the chin piece. If I can figure a way to get it set. Looks to me like the chin piece I was planning on using won't exactly sit. But if I were to use this piece, we might be able to get somewhere. But given his given the way it's set up, I don't think I'll really be able to do that. So I'm actually just going to leave this guy without a chin spike, which again will only add to some of the variety going on with your pieces, because not all of them have to be, you know, chin spiked or horned, so you can kind of move that around as well. So we're going to go ahead and get our final little dab of glue. And if you see something wispy, like a wispy line, that's part of the Testors glue. Whoop. Just moving itself around in its free-flowing way. Once again, as I said, the head is usually the more difficult piece, as it tends to want it, as you want it to be, free hanging. Which at this point will make it very frustrating to keep in place, especially with some of your other pieces still having their glue wet, like your shoulder starting to lose its bond. Come on. Stick with me. And if you ever wind up using a tester glue or a plastic cement glue where you have strings from where the glue was sticking and moved around and so on, just take your brush and lightly move them out of the way. I prefer to get this piece to stay before it all sets, but it doesn't look like that's going to be possible at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape off the glue with my finger.
Technically, what? Hang on.
And I'm actually going to look over for my super glue, which I don't seem to have, and it actually will probably give me a use to use the more possibly better red glue. Which I'm hoping will provide a better stability than the rest of the glues. And so far, that's exactly what it seems to be doing. But you gotta find that sweet spot for your head to sit. Otherwise, it's gonna start moving. And there you have it. Seems to be all done. Just gotta let him sit and dry, and then he'll be all ready to put his mark on the battlefield. So as always, be safe, be careful, and be safe. And I'll see you again, my little hatchlings.